Dear beloved, I know you have heard of many testimonies of what will happen on earth before Jesus comes. What if I told you that most of those things are already happening? Well, in today's video, I am going to be sharing a testimony that was received from a sister. In her testimony, she shared of her encounter with an angel, and what he revealed to her about the end time will leave you speechless. But before I continue, please let us know where you are listening from in the comments section. It will be nice to feel closer, even if we are physically apart. Also, if you have any prayer request, you can leave it in the comments section so that our prayer team will continue to commit you and your family in the hands of God. Please give me a few minutes of your time. Let me share this message with you. Only few people will survive this, which is why you need to pay attention to this message. Help me like this video and share to your loved ones so that more people will listen to this message. God bless you if you have done that. Now relax and listen. Hi, Daily Renewal. My name is Gift and I'm 30 years old. I live in Windhoek, Namibia in Southern Africa. Before I share what happened to me, please let me give you a background of who I was and how my encounter changed everything for me. I work as a nurse at a government clinic in Katuchera, one of the townships outside the city center. Every day I see sick children, mothers with HIV, old people with diabetes. The work is hard, but I love helping people. I've always believed in God, even though I didn't go to church much anymore. Life was just busy, you know? Work, home, sleep, repeat. On the morning of October 15, 2025, I woke up feeling strange. Not sick, just uneasy. Like something heavy was sitting on my chest. I ignored it, made myself some tea and got ready for work. The news was playing on my phone while I got dressed. More wars. More floods. More fires. I turned it off. Too depressing. I took the minibus taxi to work like always. The driver was playing gospel music, which was unusual. Normally it's just Afrobeats or South African house music. But that morning it was old hymns in Ashawambo, my mother's language. I didn't think much of it at the time. Work was busy. We had a line of patients outside before we even opened the doors. Flu season was hitting hard and we were short on medicine. I spent the morning checking temperatures, giving injections and filling out forms. By lunchtime I was exhausted. Around 2 in the afternoon, my supervisor told me to go pick up supplies from the pharmacy downtown. We needed more antibiotics and syringes. I was annoyed because it meant leaving the clinic when we were so busy, but I couldn't argue. I grabbed my bag and walked to the main road to catch another taxi. The pharmacy was in the central business district, near the big shopping area. I picked up the boxes of medicine and signed the paperwork. It was hot outside, probably 35 degrees. The sun was brutal. I decided to cut through the open-air market on my way back to save time. That market sells everything: vegetables, clothes, cell phones, dried fish. It's crowded and loud, full of people haggling and shouting. I was walking between the stalls, sweating, carrying 2 heavy boxes, when suddenly everything changed. The noise stopped. I don't mean it got quiet. I mean it stopped. Completely. Like someone hit a mute button on the whole world. I looked around and everyone was frozen. The woman selling tomatoes had her hand in the air, mid-gesture. A kid running past me was suspended in the air, 1 foot off the ground. A taxi across the street was stopped in the middle of the intersection, but not parked, just frozen. My heart started pounding. I dropped the boxes. The medicine scattered on the ground, but I didn't care. I turned in a circle, trying to understand what was happening. Then the light changed. The sky, which had been bright blue and harsh, turned soft, golden. The air itself seemed to glow. I looked up and the clouds were moving, but not like normal clouds. They were swirling, forming patterns, like they were being painted by an invisible hand. That's when I saw him. A figure was standing about 10 meters away, right in the middle of the market. He wasn't there a second ago. He was tall, maybe 2 meters, and he was wearing white robes that seemed to shine. Not like fabric. More like light itself was draped over him. His face was hard to look at, not because it was ugly, but because it was too bright. Too perfect. I had to squint. I knew immediately he wasn't human. I wanted to run, but my legs wouldn't move. My mouth was dry. I tried to speak, but nothing came out. The figure raised one hand, and I felt a wave of peace wash over me. It was like being wrapped in a warm blanket. My fear didn't disappear completely, but it became manageable. Then he spoke, but his mouth didn't move. The words just appeared in my mind, clear and loud. "Gift, do not be afraid. I am sent to show you what is coming." I nodded, still unable to speak. He gestured with his hand, and suddenly the market disappeared. I was no longer in Windhoek. I was standing on a high place like a mountain, but there was no mountain near my city. Below me I could see the whole earth spinning slowly. It looked small, like a ball I could hold in my hands. The angel, because that's what he was, I knew it now, stood beside me. He didn't speak again, but images began to flood my mind. Not like watching a movie. More like living through someone else's memories. I saw wars. Not just one or two, but many happening at the same time. Bombs falling on cities. Soldiers shooting in streets. Missiles flying through the sky. I saw Ukraine burning. I saw Israel surrounded by armies. I saw tanks rolling through deserts. The explosions were silent, but I could feel the heat and the terror. Then I saw the earth itself rebelling. Earthquakes split open cities like paper. I saw buildings collapse in seconds, entire neighborhoods swallowed by cracks in the ground. I saw fires, massive fires, spreading across forests and cities. The flames were so bright they hurt to look at. I saw floods, water rising higher than rooftops, people clinging to trees and poles, screaming for help. I saw people starving. Markets with empty shelves. Mothers holding thin children who looked like skeletons. Bread costing more money than most people earned in a week. I saw riots, people fighting over bags of rice. I saw the ocean rising. Waves as tall as buildings crashing into coastlines. Cities underwater. Boats tossed around like toys. I saw a massive storm, bigger than anything I'd ever seen, tearing through a country that looked like Australia. Then the images shifted. I saw Jerusalem, the old city with its ancient walls. But it was surrounded. Armies from every direction, tanks and soldiers and flags I didn't recognize. The sky above the city was dark, full of smoke. I saw missiles flying toward it, explosions lighting up the night. I saw Damascus, a beautiful old city with minarets and markets. But then I saw it destroyed. Buildings reduced to rubble. Streets empty except for dust and debris. It looked like a graveyard. The angel showed me something else. I saw people worshiping things that weren't God. I saw churches that were empty with cobwebs and broken windows. I saw stadiums full of people, but they weren't praying. They were celebrating money, fame, and pleasure. I saw screens everywhere, millions of screens, all showing the same lies. People believed the lies without question. I saw evil spreading like a disease. People hurting each other without remorse. Families torn apart. Children abandoned. Violence in the streets, in homes, everywhere. It felt like the whole world had gone mad. Then I saw something that made my blood run cold. I saw a man. He looked normal at first, wearing a nice suit, smiling, shaking hands with world leaders. But there was something wrong with him. His eyes were empty like a doll's eyes. He stood at a podium and spoke, and millions of people listened. They cheered for him. They followed him. But behind him, in the shadows, I saw something dark. A presence. It wasn't human. It was feeding off the chaos, growing stronger. The angel's voice returned to my mind. This is what comes when the restraint is removed. This is the beginning of the great tribulation. 7 years of judgment. The earth will groan under the weight of sin. Nations will collapse. Millions will die. The one who opposes God will rise, and many will follow him. I wanted to look away, but I couldn't. The images kept coming. I saw a mark. People lining up to receive it on their hands or foreheads. It looked like a tattoo, but it glowed faintly. Those who took it could buy food, access hospitals, travel freely. Those who refused were hunted. I saw believers hiding in basements and caves, praying quietly, starving but refusing to take the mark. I saw plagues, diseases spreading faster than doctors could treat them. I saw sores on people's skin, rivers turning red, the sun burning hotter than ever before. But then, in the middle of all that horror, I saw something else. I saw people praying. Not just a few, thousands, maybe millions. In homes, in secret meetings, in the wilderness. I saw their faces. They were scared, but they were also filled with hope. They sang songs even while they suffered. They shared their last piece of bread with strangers. They refused to bow to the man with the empty eyes. I saw angels protecting them. Invisible shields around small groups of believers. Demons trying to attack but being pushed back by light. The angel spoke again. Many will fall away, but a remnant will stand. These are the ones who trust in the Lord, who refuse to compromise, who would rather die than deny Him. They will suffer, but they will not be abandoned. Then the images stopped. I was back on the mountain or whatever that high place was. My knees felt weak. I wanted to sit down, but there was nowhere to sit. I finally found my voice. Why are you showing me this? The angel turned to face me fully. His face was still too bright, but I forced myself to look. So you will be ready. So you will warn others. The time is short. What you saw is not distant. It is at the door. 2025 is the warning. 2026 may be the beginning. Many will not believe until it is too late. You must tell them. I shook my head. I'm nobody. I'm just a nurse. Who's going to listen to me? The angel's voice became firm, but not angry. God does not call the qualified. He qualifies the called. You have seen what is coming. You cannot unsee it. Do not hide what you have been shown. Then he raised both hands and the vision ended. I was back in the market. The noise rushed back in like a wave, voices, car horns, music from the stalls. The woman selling tomatoes completed her gesture. The kid's foot hit the ground and he kept running. The taxi drove through the intersection. I looked down. The boxes of medicine were still on the ground where I dropped them. My hands were shaking. Nobody around me seemed to notice anything. They were just going about their business, buying and selling, laughing and arguing. Did they not feel it? Did they not see? I picked up the boxes with trembling hands and walked back to the clinic in a daze. My supervisor scolded me for taking so long, but I barely heard her. I went through the rest of the day like a robot, checking patients, writing notes, giving injections. But my mind was somewhere else. That night I couldn't sleep. I lay in bed staring at the ceiling, replaying everything I'd seen. Was it real? Was I going crazy? I'd never had a vision before. I wasn't a prophet or a pastor. I was just gift from Katuchra. But I couldn't deny what I'd experienced. It was too vivid, too real. The angel's words echoed in my head. The time is short. Over the next few days, I started paying attention to the news again. The wars, the earthquakes, the fires, the floods. All the things the angel had shown me, they were already happening. Russia and Ukraine, Israel and Gaza, the cyclone in Australia, the fires in Los Angeles, the drought in Sudan, Myanmar's civil war. It was all there, right in front of everyone. But people were just living their normal lives like nothing was wrong. I started praying again. Really praying, not just quick words before bed. I asked God what He wanted me to do. I felt Him say, tell them. So I started telling people. At work, I mentioned the vision to a coworker. She looked at me like I was insane. At church, I'd started going back. I shared it during testimony time. Some people nodded politely. Others whispered that I needed rest. But a few listened. Really listened. An old woman came up to me after the service with tears in her eyes. She said she'd been dreaming about the same things for months. A young man told me he felt God telling him to prepare, but he didn't know what that meant. That's when I realized the message wasn't for everyone. It was for those who had ears to hear. I'm telling you this story now because I believe you might be one of them. I don't know when Jesus is coming back. I don't know the exact day or hour, but I know we're in the season. The signs are everywhere. Wars, earthquakes, famines, plagues, nations in distress. Jerusalem surrounded by enemies. Damascus on the edge of destruction. Everything the Bible said would happen is happening. 2025 has been the warning year. 2026 might be the year everything accelerates. I can't prove that. But I can tell you what I saw, and I can tell you what my spirit confirms. Time is running out. If you've listened this far, I want to encourage you with everything in me. Don't be afraid. Yes, hard times are coming. Maybe they're already here. But God is still in control. He hasn't abandoned us. He's just removing his restraints so the world can see the consequences of rejecting him. You have a choice right now. You can ignore the warnings and keep living like everything is fine. Or you can wake up. You can turn to Jesus Christ, confess your sins, and ask him to save you. Not because you're good enough. None of us are, but because he loves you and he made a way. If you're already a believer, don't grow complacent. Pray. Read your Bible. Build your faith now while you still have time. Connect with other believers. Get ready to stand firm when everything shakes. And whatever you do, don't take the mark when it comes. I don't care what they promise you. Food, safety, comfort is not worth your soul. Trust God to provide even when it seems impossible. I'm not a prophet. I'm just a nurse. But I saw what I saw, and I can't keep quiet about it. I hope you that is listening to me today will listen and prepare yourself for the coming of our King Jesus Christ. I know you have been blessed by this testimony. If you have, please kindly drop a comment saying, "Thank you for this message." And I will be glad to know that you was blessed. Thank you for watching. If you have any question or you have any testimony you want to share, please also drop it in the comments section. Our team will take care of it and it will be shared here on this channel. God bless you and have a wonderful day.